Yeah, like I said at the start, South Africa needs inspiration, man. Can't be the 93rd happiest country in the world. Clearly people are not getting enough inspiration. Too much bad news in the country, and part of that is just telling the good stories, right? I think it's much more complicated than that, but you've got to start somewhere. And I felt like that tonight, just listening to all the other speakers. I felt encouraged, motivated. I even felt motivated to do my talk. So yeah, I thought it was great. We're trying to ideally create a model that can scale all over the developing world and let entrepreneurs. We're actually speccing our strat statement at the moment, and that it should be all people in developing countries are able to realize their potential through ecosystems that we create. And that's in my lifetime, that would be the goal, So in a very small scale, what do we need to do? We need to make that happen in South Africa. And we have a number of models, ranging from a model for high school students all the way through to a black industrialist program. Across those models, we want to raise R1 billion by the end of this financial year to take what the small scale successes we've had. We've got about between 160 and 200 million rand now under management. We want to scale that up so that we can really start to have an impact, at least in the economy of Johannesburg. So the founding idea of Awethu is that we've profoundly underutilizing entrepreneurial talent in this country, right? And so that's represented most obviously by the fact that there's 6 million businesses and 5 million are informal, which means all these people doing business and they can't raise capital outside themselves, right? So then they're just stuck. They can only do what they can raise. That doesn't mean they don't have talent, and we know they have talent because we've incubated probably about 700 entrepreneurs at this point. And some of the objective things that research would suggest, so you mentioned that we started by going off and doing cognitive tests in townships. You had guys who are top 1% in the world driving taxis, selling beer, making 3,000 rand a month with top 1% cognitive ability in the world. So clearly, with that very obvious measure, are you smart or not? How can that top 1% equate to 3,000 rand? Clearly there's so much more going on. And a lot of that is just structural, People don't understand the rules, the languages, the behaviors in order to get from where they are to where they could realize that full economic potential that they have. And that's what Awethu is trying to do, is to create those models that get people across that bridge, but not a few people at scale. So I think Awethu is going to become an online business with a bricks and mortar back end, basically. So all of our marketing's gone online. Our whole application process is online and mobile. My biggest concern, my biggest sort of long-term thing that keeps me up at night is that my tech illiteracy is going to lead to somebody leapfrogging us. And so for me, a huge strategic focus is figuring out how do we make our entire platform tech-enabled. So yeah, I think it has primary importance. I don't think I'm very good at it. So this idea that you can pick one thing is, everyone asks you that every talk, they're like, what's the one thing that entrepreneurs, and I've realized that actually trying to answer that question is the wrong thing. There's no one thing that makes an entrepreneur successful. It's a composite of who you are as a person, how you are as a person, and your idea. And the combination of those things and all the characteristics of those things will result in you achieving a certain level, right? And so it's not just a single thing. But what I think is a good rule for entrepreneurs is do more. Do more than anybody would expect of you. Do more than you would expect of yourself. Go to the max of your own ability. If you do the absolute best that you have in you, and you've done the absolute best you have in you, all these other things about people's opinion about what makes a great entrepreneur, what makes a great idea, it all just becomes speculation. It really is, entrepreneurship is a self-driven thing. That's what makes it so special. So if you do everything that you have, the best that you have in you, that's really, you can't ask for more.